This is an in-depth example of how to use the retaining walls module of stability.com.au. So first thing I've got to do is I've got to create a new project. I'll give the project a name and a reference number, and then I'll start typing the address of the project, and when I see the address that I want pop up below, I'll click on that. Or alternatively, if I need to, I can click here and I'll be able to enter the project address manually. I'm then presented with the satellite imagery of the project location. I need to review this image and make sure it's okay. If you need to, you can pan around, and you can also use Control Scroll to zoom in and out of the image. So we just need to make sure that our project location, which in this case is this residence here, is well located in the center of the map, and we can see the area where we want to put the retaining wall, because this will be used in the drawings later on. So I'm going to put the retaining wall at this back boundary of the house. So this location of the image is pretty good. I can then enter in the client details if I'm a landscaper or builder and I want the client details in here, but for this instance I'm going to say that I am the client. I then go to the project details and I can scroll down and choose retaining wall from the available options. I'll get a notification about the price, and if I'm happy to proceed, I press create project. So I'm then brought to the first page where we've got the satellite image, and we just need to follow the instructions here on the left hand side. And if at any stage you get stuck, you can click on this help video button. A help video will pop up and you can watch that example of someone doing it. So I'll close this video. The instructions say click on the polyline tool below, and once you've finished drawing your wall, click the tick button and press continue. So I'll click on that tool, and then I just click on the aerial image, and then if I move my mouse around, you can see it's drawing the retaining wall location. So I want the retaining wall here at this back boundary, and maybe it returns just a little bit. So I'll click again to add another vertex. Once you're done drawing the retaining wall, you just press this tick button, and now we're ready to press continue and move to the next step. So once again, following the instructions here on the left hand side, it says click the image tool below to upload a picture of where you want the retaining wall to be. So you'll have to have a picture of where the retaining wall is going, or if you need to, you can upload multiple pictures. The image will appear here in the middle of the screen. If I want to, say I did want to upload multiple pictures, I can move it around, I can make it smaller, make some space for other pictures, but in this case I'm just going to upload one, so I'll just leave it here in the middle. So yeah, I click on the picture to edit it. If I want to go back to my polyline menu, I just click away from the picture, and that will show me my polyline tools again. Okie dokie. So I then use the polyline tool to draw the retaining wall in perspective view. So I'll click on the polyline tool again, and then I'll click to add vertices. So I want it to go from this wall all the way to my boundary fence, and then I did have a little bit of a return, so I'll draw it like so. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to clearly communicate where the wall's going to go. And once I'm done drawing it, I'll click the tick. And now I'm ready to continue to the next step. So I'll press continue. And now we have to enter in the details for the wall and the details for the soil. So I just follow through the form and fill in every stage. So the wall type, we'll use a steel post for this example, but you can choose from other types. Here you can see a block work wall with the wall at the back of the footing. here we've got a blockwork wall with the wall at the front of the footing, and yeah, you can just click through these to see a preview of the type of wall that that you're designing for. So we entered in the wall height. I'll say it's 1200. The wall length, let's say it's 12 meters long, and the concrete sleeper length in the case of a steel post wall. So I'll say I want a 1200 millimeters long sleeper. So we now need to enter in the soil data. So you have multiple options for the soil data. You can choose, I would like stability engineering to organize my geotech, in which case we'll call up a geotech technician or a geotechnical engineer to get a DCP test, and they will give us all the soil data and we can enter it in for you. Alternatively, you can choose, I have my own geotechnical engineering report and would like to enter soil data, and you use the geotechnical engineering report to fill in all this data below. If you are a geotech technician and you have your own DCP test, you can choose a DCP test option, and you use this form here to calculate the bearing capacity for the DCP tests, and then use those bearing capacity values to inform the soil data here below. You can delay by saying I'll arrange a geotechnical engineering investigation myself, but please note that if you choose this option, your wall will not be reviewed by stability.com.au until you've entered in the soil data. You can also use generic values based on soil descriptions. So you'll be shown this disclaimer saying essentially that you're a qualified person to complete this form, and you'll have to press accept to continue. These using generic values, you can choose from just generic soil descriptions like a hard clay, stiff clay, so on and so on, or from a loose sand or dense sand, or so on. So we don't recommend using this functionality if you don't have to, because the factor of safeties that are applied to the soils are higher due to the level of uncertainty with just using soil descriptions. But if you are a qualified geotechnical engineer or geotechnical technician, and you can make those kind of qualitative calls, then you're welcome to use this option. So for this example, I'll go through and I'll say I have my own geotechnical engineering report and would like to enter soil data. So we just go through the form and fill out all the questions. So is there any services, e.g. sewer or excavations, within 1800 millimeters of the front of the wall? So you can see here in front of the wall, we in the example we've got just a flat area. So for example, is there a sewer line running here 1800 millimeters in front of the, less than 1800 millimeters in front of the wall, or is there going to be a pool excavated here later, anything like that? So I'm going to say no, there's nothing going in there. Will there be any of the following structures within a distance of 1800 millimeters from the wall on the retained soil side? So this is on the up side of the wall. So if there's going to be a house, or if there's going to be a concrete footpath or whatever, we have to put that in there. So you can choose from these options a single-story dwelling, or roads, concrete footpath, driveway. I'm going to say, let's say there's a concrete footpath, but that's all. So if the wall falls down, what will the damage be? So we get to choose from some different risks class here. So if it's just a garden wall and it falls down, the only thing that is damaged is your garden, then you can choose minimal. If something like a footpath will be damaged, or a driveway, but nothing that's particularly large or expensive to replace, then you can choose moderate. But if the wall has buildings or pools, or there's any risk to human life at all, if it falls down, you have to choose significant. So I'm going to say this is just a garden wall. So, well, actually I've said there's a footpath, so I'll say that this is a moderate. What type of backfill will be used behind the wall? So if you're using fill, you can choose from controlled fill class 1, class 2, uncontrolled fill, or alternatively, if it's in cut, you can say it's natural ground in situ material. So I'll say that. Is there a water table present? So I'm going to say no. There's no water table. Will there be a fence on top of the retaining wall? So I'm going to say that no, there's no fence on top of this retaining wall. If you choose yes, the retaining wall will just be a little bit stronger to handle wind forces that act on the fence. So I'll now fill in all my soil data. So we start off with the supporting soil, or the soil that's the foundational soil for the footing. So this soil in front. And we choose a soil type. I'll say it's a clay. All this data should come from your geotechnical engineering report, and if you don't have the data in there, you can talk to your geotechnical engineer or technician that produced the report and get this data from them. So I'll say it has a unit weight of 18 kilonewtons per meter cubed, and undrained cohesion, I'll give it let's say 150. Effective cohesion, I'll say that it's 1. If you can use 0 here to be conservative if you don't have effective cohesion in your report. Effective friction angle, so I'm going to say that this is like 29 degrees, and the slope in front of the soil, so this is flat, so I can put in 0, but I'll say that it's 1. So we now do the retained soil, so the soil that's being held up by the wall. I'll say that it's also a clay, that its gamma is also 18. Maybe its undrained cohesion's a little bit less because it's up higher. C effective, I'll make 0, and phi effective, I'll say is 27 degrees. And the slope behind the wall, let's say the slope behind the wall is maybe 4%. Okay, now that all that's filled in, I can press Save Changes, and I'll get a little message down here with the recommended wall, and I'll get a little message saying that the changes have been saved and we can now continue. So it's saying for this instance we need a steel post wall that's 1200 high with a 1600 deep footing and a 450 pile diameter. So I can now press continue, go to the next step, which is to pay the deposit. So once again, following the instructions, add any files or comments for the project below, such as the geotech report or architectural drawings, and then press the payment button to pay your fee. So we can choose to add files, upload files here. I don't have any files for this drawing, but for demonstration purposes, I'll upload this file. So I get this. I get these notifications that the file's been uploaded and added to the project, and then I can add any comments. Maybe this was the architectural drawings, and you can say architectural drawings uploaded. And then you can add the comment. If you wish, you can also leave comments for the reviewing engineer. Maybe you can say something along the lines of please feel free to suggest other wall types if they will be cheaper. And the reviewing engineer will be able to see that, and yeah, they can act on the comments that you've given them. So once all that's done, I can press pay deposit. I'll be sent to a pay page. So this is for the deposit. So the payment of $1,000 ex GST or $1,100 ex GST is paid in two parts. First, the deposit, which just gets your project reviewed by the engineer, and then once the engineers have reviewed it and essentially said that it's okay for use on stability.com.au, you can pay the remaining $990 to get access to your drawings. So I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay the pay in this instance. I'll get a notification that the payment was cancelled. That's okay. I'll go to my projects, but you'll see that now in my projects list I have the retaining wall there, and I can edit the details at any time. If I wanted to change this, I can click on this and move around. I can add more. I can add more drawings if I want to. I'll go back here. If I want to, I can have a look at the drawings. These drawings will be only in draft form because I haven't paid and it hasn't been reviewed by an engineer yet. So if I click through these drawings, you'll see that we have the first one is a notes page, and then the second one's the location sketches, and all our project data is down here in the title block. Here's our location sketch for the wall. I'll click to the next one, and here's where the details are on page S04. You'll notice that you are given a notification here. Your completed drawings will appear here once you have paid your fee in full and the project has been reviewed by an engineer. So at the moment we're just shown a kind of a draft of what the wall type is, which in this instance is a steel post concrete sleeper wall, 1200 high, but there's no dimensions or details on it until the fee has been paid in full and it's been reviewed by an engineer. So once a engineer has reviewed your project and you have paid the fee, you'll be able to print these drawings. So maybe I'll print one of these off, maybe this one, just by pressing the print PDF button, and then I'll have that drawing in my downloads folder. So you can then send this drawing off to council for approval, or a builder for pricing, or you can use it for construction if you're a landscaper. And these draft marks will not be present after the bill has been paid, but since the bill's not been paid yet, I'm showing these draft marks. So that's a demonstration of how to use stability.com.au. If you have any questions at any time, we're perfectly happy to answer them, perfectly happy to run you through a demo, help you use it for the first time. And yeah, all our contact details are on the website. So look forward to working with you.